You work hard, you pay your bills, you avoid wasting money on nonsense, and still, at the end of the month, the money is gone. And then you start asking yourself, where am I going wrong? The answer might be uncomfortable, but it's liberating. Maybe the problem isn't how much you earn, but what you do or fail to do with what you already have. The truth is, you might be trapped in invisible financial habits, silent patterns, behaviors you don't even notice, but that are keeping you exactly where you are, stagnant, anxious, living in scarcity. You were conditioned from an early age to survive, to chase, to put out fires. But living in survival mode is like driving with the parking brake on. You move, but never get far. Your routine devours your dreams. The goal becomes paying bills, not building freedom. And the worst part? Over time, you start to accept this life as normal, as if there's no other option. But there is. The first step is recognizing how you're sabotaging yourself without even realizing it. One of the most destructive habits is emotional spending. It happens to more people than you think. After a bad day, a fight, or that strange empty feeling, you open an app and buy something, not because you need it, but because you want to feel something. A moment of pleasure, a distraction, a temporary relief. The industry knows this and profits from it. They sell you self-care disguised as consumption, but in the end, all you're left with is guilt and debt. You numb the pain for a few minutes, but it comes back stronger when the bill arrives. Another silent habit is avoiding your own numbers. You know how much you earn, but you avoid looking at how much you spend. You're afraid to open your banking app. You pretend you didn't see that notification. That's like driving blindfolded. The truth might hurt, but it sets you free. Because when you face your reality, you take back control. You start making conscious decisions. And consciousness is the first step toward freedom. There's also a hidden block that few people notice: shame around talking about money. Since you were young, you were taught that talking about money is rude, that it shows arrogance, that it's for greedy people. But the reality is the opposite. People who don't talk about money often end up controlled by it. Families fall into debt because they don't talk. Relationships break. Businesses collapse. All because money is still a taboo. Talking about money with maturity isn't greed. It's emotional intelligence. It's responsibility. It's what separates those who live at the mercy of circumstance from those who build a life with clarity and direction. Another common mistake is confusing effort with progress. Some people work 12 hours a day, non-stop, but they never move forward. Because effort doesn't always equal results. You might be pouring energy into the wrong place. You might be running in circles. The world doesn't reward the most exhausted. It rewards those who create value, those who think like investors, not just workers, those who seek leverage, not just sweat. And that leads us to another dangerous mindset: rejecting the idea of investing. Many say, I don't want to risk anything. I'd rather keep it safe, in cash, in savings. But what feels safe might be what's making you poorer. Because saving without investing is like filling a bucket full of holes. Time passes, inflation rises, and your money loses value. Meanwhile, others are making time work for them. It's not about how much you have, it's about what you do with what you have. Investing doesn't need to be big, complex, or reserved for the rich. It can start small. The important thing is to start, even if just to learn. Because when you invest, you send a message to the universe and to yourself. I believe in my future. But maybe the most dangerous habit of all is waiting until there's money left over. When I make more, I'll start. When I have extra, I'll save. When I have time, I'll learn. But here's what you need to understand. There's never anything left over. Money doesn't left over. It gets directed. It must be commanded. If you spend everything and wait for leftovers to change your life, you're building on sand. The wealthy set money aside before spending. The broke spend first and pray there's something left. That's the difference. Changing this pattern takes courage. It takes a decision. It won't feel comfortable at first, but the freedom that comes after is indescribable. The truth is, no one taught you this. It wasn't your fault, but now that you know, it's your responsibility. Your habits are shaping your destiny every single day. And if you keep repeating the same behaviors, you'll keep getting the same results. But if you have the courage to break this cycle, if you choose to rewrite the script, everything can change. It's not about magic. It's not about empty promises. It's about clarity, action, discipline, and vision. It's about saying, enough. I deserve better than this, and then proving it. Through your daily choices, money is just a reflection. The real treasure is the person you become in the process. And if you want help building this new mindset, there are paths, there are people, and maybe you're just one decision away from the life you've always wanted.